Buongiorno e benvenuti al PrestaShop Day Milano. Sono Asman e sono responsabile degli eventi di PrestaShop. Prima di cominciare vi abbiamo preparato un video. Enjoy!
Signore e signori, benvenuti alla terza edizione del PrestaShop Day Milano. Come da nostra tradizione sarà anche questa una giornata ricca di eventi. Inizieremo con la conferenza per poi proseguire con i workshop formativi e concludere la giornata con l'annuncio dei PrestaShop Award e con un grande aperitivo. Vi aspettiamo in tanti, sarò a vostra disposizione durante tutta la giornata e auguro a tutti un buon PrestaShop Day.
Grazie a Luca Mastroianni, il nostro Country Manager Italia. Sono Asmaan e sono responsabile degli eventi di PrestaShop. Non parlo italiano, ma per voi oggi ho imparato qualche parola. Siamo lieti di accogliervi al tag per il PrestaShop di Milano. Con il team PrestaShop vi abbiamo preparato una giornata e un programma ricco di sorprese e novità. Se avete bisogno di me, non esitate a venire a trovarmi. Adesso lascio la parola ad Alexandre.
Buongiorno a tutti, sono Alexandre Eruimy, CEO di PrestaShop. Abbiamo pensato questa giornata per voi e per la nostra community, per aiutarvi a sviluppare il vostro negozio online attraverso nuovi canali e nuovi paesi. Ed è per questo che vi presento il tema della giornata. Crescere con PrestaShop, affinché PrestaShop diventi il motore del vostro successo online.
Prova. Signore e signori, benvenuti al PrestaShop Day. Ora la facciamo dal vivo. Come preannunciato, il tema della giornata sarà crescere con PrestaShop. Abbiamo deciso di trattare questo tema alla nostra maniera, quindi riunendo tutto l'ecosistema dell'e-commerce, ecosistema nell'ambito del quale noi siamo orgogliosi di giocare un ruolo di hub, perché attraverso il nostro modello open source, attraverso il nostro marketplace, riusciamo ad accompagnare i merchant nelle diverse fasi della catena del valore dell'e-commerce. Dicevamo, il tema è crescere con PrestaShop, ma nel momento in cui si approccia alla crescita è importante avere una visione del futuro. E questa prima parte della giornata è orientata esattamente al futuro. Inizieremo con il contributo del nostro leadership team sul futuro di PrestaShop. Ci concentreremo poi su quello che è il mercato, il futuro dell'e-commerce in Italia e nel mondo, e avremo una tavola rotonda per discutere quello che sarà il negozio, il retail, immaginandocelo fra 30 anni. Vi prego pertanto di accogliere con un caloroso applauso il nostro CEO Alexandre Eruimy.
Buongiorno a tutti. Well, as you can see in the video, I'm not that great in Italian, so I will switch in English and continue in English. For us, today is a special day. As Lucas said, it's the first time that we are gathering the leadership team to present you our vision for PrestaShop, to present you also ourselves, as we are new on stage. So we have come as leadership team for the last 7 months, and I'm really happy to introduce you also to my CMO and CTO, talking with you in a few minutes. It's a special day also for us because we're here for you. This day has been designed for you, the e-merchants, and you're part of the almost and more than 20,000 stores active, based in Italy, and using PrestaShop as an e-commerce platform. So you as web developers, working for agencies, working as freelancers, working within technical teams for e-merchants, day to day on the improvement of the platform PrestaShop. I'm also speaking to you, the add-on sellers. You are providing the platform with extra features, extra connectors. And I will finish with you, our partners, providing our merchants with new services and new solutions. But I want to start with something which is very fundamental to us. I want to start with our mission. PrestaShop's mission is to enable anybody in any country to start its online business and also to develop its sales with success. And it means that our role, our goal, is to help people onboard online, to help people start an e-commerce business online. But our role is also to make you successful, to have you develop your sales. And so that's why it's fundamental to have that in mind to understand a strategy. And a strategy, so, is starting with store creation, and that's why we've launched in June this year our PrestaShop Ready, a new package, a new product that will be presented through the next video. So we've launched this package to help new merchants onboard online, merchants with few resources, either technical or financial, to help them with an all-in-one solution. All-in-one based on hosting, support, and pre-installed module to help you sell quickly your products. But the main difference of this offer towards the other SaaS products, so other software as a service products, is that you will be able to migrate to the on-premise solution. So we provide you with freedom. You're free to start with PrestaShop Ready and then continue with PrestaShop Download. If you want to get more control, if you want to do some specific development, specific integrations, specific design. And that's the second part of our mission, to help you develop your sales with your technical teams, with your agencies, with your freelancers, and to develop so that you can become the next Excelsior Milano or Mirafiori, working on PrestaShop on a daily basis to sell online. We have also in development some website from Huawei, so it's an Asian brand starting to sell online in Italy, and also from Smeg, a huge home appliance brand that you might know. So those guys, you guys, merchants developing, you need a robust platform, and you need to get functionalities that are more advanced to develop your sales online. And speaking about development, speaking about growth, I want to start with a basic message. I want to start with your customers. Because what matters here is your sales, so we need to look at your customers. And we have observed them, and we've based our roadmap on those observations. And to present you with the roadmap, and before that, I want to ask you 3 questions. The first one is, who are your customers? And who are your next customers? Are there individuals in Italy? Yes, for sure. There is a huge development in Italy in terms of e-commerce. But tomorrow there will be also more and more outside. And you need to address your Swiss clients, your French clients, your Spanish clients, and more Chinese clients to continue to grow internationally. I'm also speaking about professional clients. So B2B commerce will be part of the future for your growth. The second question is, where do they meet with your products, with your offer? And where do you meet your customers? And here I'm speaking about marketplaces. And when I speak about marketplaces, I speak about both the usual marketplaces that you know, so Amazon, for instance, Alibaba also, with AliExpress growing in Europe. But not only those ones, not only eBay and all the guys that you know. I'm also speaking about social networks. Social networks have been designed to make your products available, visible for the customers to discover your products, but they are becoming more and more platforms for your sales. You know buy buttons, and you know what is done around shopping, around marketplaces directly within Facebook, for instance. But think about Instagram shopping. So those guys, they're also becoming marketplaces. And so you need to be there to address your clients, for them to discover your products, but also for them to purchase your products. And the last question is, how do they get access to your offer? So you make most of your sales on desktop, for sure. That's where the conversion rate is the best. But there will be more and more mobile sales, and you know that, it's obvious. There is a shift from desktop to mobile, and you've seen that in China, for instance, Alibaba is making more than 80 or 90% of its sales on mobile devices. That is coming to Europe, and that is starting to develop with apps, but not only with those technologies. And the last question, or the last dimension I want to speak about, is trust. E-commerce has started to develop thanks to trust. Trust coming to your payment solution, thanks to your reviews, but also thanks to your management of the personal data of your customers. And I think that we're happy to welcome GDPR in May. And so we, as PrestaShop, as a European platform, we are really careful about adapting our platform to match those regulatory specifications, either at the EU level or local level in Italy. And so that's based on those observations that we have built our roadmap for 2018 and the beginning of 2019. First dimension is international. How do you address your international customers? And we'll continue to drive these improvements with the management of taxes, of prices, and also the management of more translations. That we are part of the most translated solutions worldwide, and we can help you to sell online. That's really core on PrestaShop. The second dimension is social network. Social network to make your customers discover your products, but also buy them. And in the next weeks, we will launch a buy button, so that you will be able to add on your social networks, on your social pages, so that your customers can add directly the products displayed on the video, on the picture, into a basket, and continue the purchase act on your website. But it's not only bringing customers from social networks to your website, it's also having a smooth path to a sale on the social network, and that's what we are working on right now with Facebook for Instagram shopping. The third dimension is mobile, of course. And finally, we are happy to tell you that the back office will be fully responsible and will be fully responsive to update your product pages, to update your catalog, and that we are also working on more mobile features and more mobile API within the code of the software in order also to build progressive web apps. So new technologies bringing mobile experience, bringing a more user-friendly mobile experience and a smoother experience to your customers. And that's a technology making converging apps and mobile web. Fourth dimension, I spoke about that, trust, and trust coming with GDPR. So we have adapted the software for May, and we will continue to update based on regulatory environment. We're speaking right now about e-privacy at EU level, so we'll follow that and update you in order to make sure that your software, your platform, is trustworthy towards your clients. So that's about 2018, 2019. And I will speak about the software itself, so we will also continue to focus you on your sales, on your clients, and that's what matters, so that you can spend time on those guys and not on the software. So we want to make it more easy to use, with personalization of the homepage, with migration from 1.6 version to 1.7 version, and also a solution which is more performing, thanks to Symfony Framework, and Aurélien will come back to that. For the years to come, so I spoke about the place, the channels. We will continue to improve the channels for marketplaces, social networks, and work on B2B, new clients, and B2B features for the software, and also the integration of a full commerce platform. Not only speaking about e-commerce, but also speaking about point of sales. How do you integrate your point of sales with your e-commerce platforms? How does PrestaShop become the cockpit of your sales, whatever the channel is? The second dimension we will push is the B2B, as I said, and we'll continue to improve the software in order to focus you on your mission and on your clients. Your business is to sell. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. So, la nostra missione es il vostro successo. Adesso vi presento a Johann Molinari, direttore marketing in PrestaShop. Grazie mille.
Grazie Alessandro. Mi chiamo Johann Molinari, sono francese, non italiano, ma voglio iniziare questa presentazione dicendo una cosa. Grazie. So I want to tell you thank you, first for welcoming me on stage, but also for welcoming me in the PrestaShop community. I'm very new to the team. I only joined PrestaShop during the summer. Before that, I spent 10 years working in digital, mainly at Google and Waze, the GPS application. And during that time, I worked with a lot of e-merchants and online businesses. And I think what struck me during those years is that those entrepreneurs, those managers, had two things in common. The first one is passion for their business, for success, for e-commerce. The second one is loneliness. So why am I talking about loneliness? It's loneliness in front of, big issues and difficult questions. What is the best way to manage my shipments nationally, internationally? What is the best way to set up my prices against competition? Do I need an ERP? What payment solutions should I set up in different markets? It's also loneliness at the end of the day in front of the computer screen, in front of the back office, seeing results which sometimes are good, which sometimes are a bit disappointing, and also being stuck by things that just don't work. However, this is not a job to these people, it's more of a passion, even a lifestyle. And this is why I'm really happy to have joined this community, and this is why we're all gathered today in this room. I think we're all gathered today around that passion for e-commerce and bringing projects together. I'm very proud to be, in the room. There are a few hundreds of us today. There are more than 270,000 live shops on PrestaShop. But across the globe, I think the community is more than 1 million people. If we count the merchants, the designers, the partners, the agency, the contributors, the translators, etc., there are more than 1 million people around the globe working on that project. And I think it's amazing. Talking of the 1 million number, last week we also went above a threshold, which is very symbolic for us. We grew over the 1 million threshold of transactions on the add-ons marketplace. And I think it's an incredible symbol of the health and the energy that our community has. It's also a good sign because that means that we're able to give back to contributors several million of euros each year. And we truly believe, and I'm really going to stress on that community and working together, working hand in hand, is the way that we can move forward as a company. When I started in PrestaShop, the first time I came into the office in Paris, I was very surprised by something, is that I heard everybody talking about le cœur in French, il cuore in Italian. And I was wondering what are they talking about all day. And il cuore, the core, is the way that we talk about our key product, about the software of PrestaShop. And I think it's a good image because, as you know, the heart is an organ made of two pieces, the left heart and the right heart. Hopefully everybody in this room has the two, because without the two sides, they cannot function. And I think it's a good image of the way that our company functions. Like PrestaShop cannot exist without the software on one side and the community on the other. And this is really why each time we make a new development, each time we make a new feature, we try to ask ourselves one question: who will be impacted by that change? Is it a new e-merchant? Is it an expert for whom e-commerce has no secrets anymore? Or is it maybe an open source lover? And our goal today is really to make PrestaShop the solution that meets the needs of those different populations. What we want to achieve is for PrestaShop to make things easy for you. So it can be, making sure that setting up a new shop is totally seamless. Making sure that applying a design on your theme is painless. Making sure that adding a new product page is as simple as it comes. It's also in terms of management of the platform. So in your everyday use of the platform, we want you to be able to simply add new carriers, to manage specific prices, or any other things that you want to be able to do, such as managing your inventory. And finally, as Alexandre said, it's not just about your shop. The way that we want to accompany you is also beyond the shop, meaning that we need to focus on social networks, and we need to focus on how to turn your stores into progressive web apps. I have something to announce, is that our roadmap, our product roadmap, is now totally transparent and totally shared on GitHub. So the roadmap is public. And I think this is crucial because when you think about community, what are community? It's a group of people that come together because they have common beliefs, common projects, or a common passion. And for a community to work, you need two things. The first one is transparency. As part of the community, you need to know what the other members of the community are doing. It's the only way we can move forward together. And the other one is effective and efficient communication, but I'll come back to that. So if you go on GitHub, you'll be able to see every feature that we're working on, what is being finalized, what is under development, and what is to come after that. In terms of communication, we have created two channels. Number one, feedback. So, as I was saying, for a community to work, as in a couple, you need communication. So, rather than us trying to guess what you really need, it's simpler if you tell us what you need. And so what we've created is this tool, feedback, for you to tell us what is your business priority. It may be developing a new B2B channel, or it may be, I just want the software to be faster. We can make guesses, but the simplest thing is for you to log into the platform, make a suggestion of what you want to have, and vote for other merchant suggestions for these suggestions to become our priority. So the feedback tool, the way that we're using it today and that we want to continue to use it, is for us to prioritize the right things for you. Number two, it's the user club. So what is the user club? It's early access to new features, very simply put. So if you want to have that early access and test new features, you join the club, we give you access to those features, and then you are able to give us feedback on those features, meaning that this is a new process for us to define and refine new features. I can give you two recent examples of things that we did with the user club and test users. It's the new menu of version 1.7.4, which was tested this way, and other features that we'll share afterwards. To finish, I want to announce one last thing, which is the version 1.7.5, which will be released at the end of the month of October. It's during stabilization phase now, but very soon it will become available. So to conclude, I want to leave you with three things. Number one, the PrestaShop community is huge and it's healthy. Number two, even more than before, we want the community to be front and center of our product strategy. And number three, to turn those words into actions, we've already created new channels, public roadmap on GitHub, one feedback tool, and a user club for you to test the new features. On that, I will leave you with our CTO, Aurélien Pelletier. Thank you very much. Grazie.
Buongiorno Milano, non parlo italiano. So you have one more talk in French-English, but don't worry, it's much more fun and much easier to understand than plain English. So I'm very happy to be in front of you with this room full of people using PrestaShop. First thing, I really like to get to know you better, so I have a few questions for you, so please answer. First, has anyone in this room already downloaded PrestaShop software? Please raise your hand. Okay, a few people did that. Do we have some people who has a shop, an e-commerce shop on PrestaShop in production? Some merchant there, yeah? Okay. And is there anyone who develops website, e-commerce websites with PrestaShop in the room? Okay, good. And does anyone has contributed to PrestaShop source code or created a module or theme for PrestaShop? Some contributors? Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So we have, in this room, we have merchants, users of PrestaShop, contributors of PrestaShop. So you are the community of PrestaShop. And I'm sure the one who did not raise their hands are future members of this community, because we have a great platform. So every day, the PrestaShop team, we work hard for you, for the community. And for that, we have a secret weapon. That secret weapon is called open source. So you might wonder what Spider-Man is doing there. Okay, so Spider-Man is this quote, so grande potere and grande responsabilidad. So the great power is the one of the open source platform. And the great responsibility is the responsibility of the PrestaShop team to make sure this platform stays the best one, the best choice for any merchant in the world. And also, open source is very important. It's at the core of the DNA of PrestaShop. It's important for us, but it's also important for you merchants. Why? When you hear about open source, very often you also hear about free software. And free as not as free beer, but free as in free speech. So that's the key word for you. It's freedom. When you choose PrestaShop, you choose freedom. You are free to download the software. You are free to use it. You are free to modify the source code of PrestaShop. And of course, you are free to succeed and make profit with PrestaShop. One thing that's important when you use PrestaShop software is don't forget to quote it. And if you improve the software, don't forget to share your improvements with the community. That's also the secret weapon of open source, is that anyone can contribute. And it's very important. So this leads me to my second point, developer experience. What's that? What's developer experience? So as merchants, I'm sure you care a lot about the user experience. Your future clients, from the first time they will see your website, your e-commerce shop, to the time their first order gets delivered, it's very important to you they have a good experience, end-to-end. As leader of the PrestaShop open source project, we care a lot about the developers and contributors' experience. From the first time they discover the PrestaShop open source project, to the time when their first contribution is included in the product and shipped to you, the merchants. That's very, very important because we want the community to grow. So for that, Johann already told you that since a few months, the PrestaShop roadmap is online. We're much more transparent on what we're doing and what we're going to do. We really want to improve the governance of the open source project. So about the PrestaShop roadmap, we have a workshop at 11 if you want to know more on what we're doing on the platform and what we will do in the future. It's at 11 in the greenhouse, I think. That's the first point, more transparency, so people know what we're doing and what we will do. Second point is we're working hard on improving PrestaShop documentation. We have a new developer documentation called devdoc.prestashop.com, and this documentation is hosted on GitHub with the source code, which makes it really easy for anyone to contribute and update the documentation. That's a very important point too. And last, for the contributors, we're also working on improving and working on the source code quality to make the product more robust and stable. And for that, what we do, we implement more and more automated tests, and we use tools such as the Symfony framework, which is also an open source project with a great community. So we're building on the shoulders of giants, other products. And we use many different tools to measure and improve the performance of the product. So today, PrestaShop already has the biggest contributor community in the e-commerce world, but we simply wanted to make it bigger and better. That's for you, the merchant, to always have people to work with you and improve your shop. So I've talked a lot about open source contributions, the community, but PrestaShop is not only that. PrestaShop is also the company that sells products around the open source project to improve it and to help you merchants. So of course, we provide trainings and support around the solutions. And also, we have the add-ons marketplace. It's where you will find modules and themes to add advanced functionality to your shop. Not only we have products, modules, themes, but also you need services to be included in your shop to run it. And in the future, we will make it much more easier for you to subscribe to those services you need to run a successful shop. So I told you about support, trainings, modules, services. If you take all this together, you added some hosting, what you get is the SaaS offering for PrestaShop, PrestaShop Ready, that you saw the video at the beginning of this keynote. That's all the products that PrestaShop provides to users, the merchants. So what I want you to remember, PrestaShop is an open source product with a great community of contributors that are ready to work with you on your shop. PrestaShop is also a company that can help you with trainings and supports, and provide you with new functionalities for your shop on the add-ons marketplace. And also, you can get started right now on PrestaShop Ready if you want. Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with you today. With the PrestaShop team, we're available for you all day to answer your question. Don't hesitate to come to us. I love to hear about what you're doing with PrestaShop and what you will do in the future, what you want to do in the future. So, thanks. I'll let Luca introduce you the rest.